So, Alex, I'm going to be like real disappointed if you're not just pounding those hot dogs like you were for part one.
It's true.
I have no hot dogs today, unfortunately.
God damn it.
But instead, I got bratwurst.
Today, fucking bratwurst. No, I had a bunch of pizza and I feel like shit now. So, just stuck with a hot dog, I think.
I guess one thing I was considering is that, Gravesend, you're going to get another pass. So if there's anything you didn't get in part one, you're one of the few people who gets another shot at it.
That's me. What was it you said today? What was it, Adam? You said something like one of the takes that we lost from the first one was so something I said. All right. Comparing Thanos to cosmic Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah. Because I think we were talking about just like reactionary villains or how reactionary perspectives get represented in comics, and I think we were analyzing Thanos as definitely being like not the good kind of Ann Prim, like the real Uncle Ted, but some sort of like shoddy ass intergalactic.
Yeah, I believe you guys called him an incel.
Uncle Ted Kaczynski.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He went on a rant about how he wasn't an incel, but like the real kind of incel, like not like the sad boy loser of today. But like
He was the OG black-pilled villain.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on a second. Do you think that Thanos is incel or is he more Volcel?
No, well, I mean, Thanos fucks like crazy. Like Thanos like impregnated alien women across the entire universe. He just decided at some point that he wanted to be the only one that ever had the kind of power that he had. The only person that could ever threaten Thanos was like his own seed. And so he went back across the universe and killed all of his babies that he ever had in front of their mothers.
No, well.
So if you're going to kill kids, you have to do it in front of the mother, right? There's no point in doing it.
Yeah, like what's the point, right? Like it's no fun if you just throw them in the river, you know?
You gotta go hard. I will say this does make me think of two possible scenarios involving Thanos. One would be Thanos just in a never-ending family court case with all the mothers of his children. And then the other one, no, never mind. I'm not even going to say that one.
Okay. It does sound like
now
Okay.
I want to see a
Like
comedy
Memorial?
skit with Thanos in family court, and he just sounds like Alex Jones.
Oh,
Just
fuck.
doing,
He'd be like, listen, I ate a bunch of barbecue that day and I decided to massacre half of the universe.
He's on the front page like telling people in court that like it's all just been an act. He's not really like a cosmic supervillain. He just does it for the likes, you know. He got to support, you know.
He was like, listen, I got to keep my Patreon supporters. I got to keep those numbers going up.
gotta keep my
They rely on
OnlyFans.
me to sell them colloidal silver. You know?
oh my god!
Except he actually has like real working colloidal silver that like actually does something.
Now I'm never going to be able to disentangle Thanos and Alex Jones in my mind. That will just always be a thing now. Yeah, if you think about it, he does kind of look like a weird, like melted plastic version of Thanos.
Yeah.
Melted plastic. Like when you heat
Left
up
out in the sun
styrofoam
too long?
container in the microwave, and it's just like
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
I
that
love how
picture.
the more we talk about Thanos, the more he's being demoted. First he was Ted Kaczynski, now he's Jones.
Yeah. He was Ted Kaczynski to incel to Alex Jones now.
What's next? He's gonna turn into Sargon of Akkad.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't even go that low for Thanos, I don't think.
That means he'd just be getting fucking owned in debates by anyone who's like halfway read anything. I mean, what's below Sargon of Akkad? Is it Stefan Molyneux? He's purple.
No, I'm rating him
intergalactic
higher than
Stefan
that.
Molyneux.
Probably Richard Spencer. I think he's like lower on the totem pole than even fucking Akkad.
Ooh, hold on. I'm gonna need to hear some rationale behind this one, Gravesend. So how are you ranking those two in that order?
Well, because fucking Spencer's just cucked now. I mean, let's be real.
Ever since he got punched in the face, is that what you mean?
So like contemporary
And
Spencer.
just
Yeah.
everything else after that. Like, he's just obscure. And it's especially after that fucking, like, I endorse Biden bullshit.
I was gonna say he's
We
simping
talked
for
about it,
Biden
yeah.
now. That is true.
Yeah.
Talk about a complete capitulation. Like you endorse Biden now.
I know.
He's like, I was just being a little too extreme before you guys. Now I'm going to be completely milquetoast. Like,
See, that's what I always say. Like, if you're gonna be a reactionary, be interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give me good
So hard.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's fair.
Just the gravity of our our enemies themselves are just as milquetoast as like the DSA. It's just really hard for me to grapple with.
Oh my god.
I think the DSA is more of a threat, just through sheer incompetence and inability to do anything.
That's all I got to say about that.
I don't know if I agree with that. Yeah, because yes, incompetence, yes, but also like you like can't even get them out of bed to do shit. You know, like they don't even show up to things.
Oh my god.
That's true. Also, I will give Spencer credit. He's at least read like a doorknow. So, and how many people in the DSA can say they've read a doorknow?
Right.
Do you want to get into this thing, considering it's round 2?
Yeah. Get this.
I'm just
All right,
full
yeah.
Podcast
disclosure,
machine.
I have no idea. I don't remember anything of what I said. I will probably just be rambling like a madman. So
like part 1.
This is
yeah. So like part 1, except less coherent. So
Well, I've now watched 3 videos about The Dark Knight Returns since we did part 1, so I feel a little bit more informed.
Alex, you know,
Really?
we know that you don't remember anything, which is why just every week we do this same episode. You just don't remember.
oh,
Every Sunday night, it's
Yeah.
just
so
this
familiar,
episode.
you know. And then I was like, nah, we didn't do this yet.
Yeah, we have about we have like 77 episodes so far of just the same conversation. You just forget every time. So we just every Sunday we meet and we just have this very same conversation, and you're the only one who forgets.
You know what's funny? That would be our version of the worst idea of all time. Instead of just watching Sex and the City 2 or Grown Ups 2, like how many times? Like 56 times?
52.
52 times?
Yeah.
We would just record the same episode 52 times. You're locked in now, Gravesend. This is number 2 of 52.
This is the worst remake of Groundhog's Day, I gotta say.
It's real low-grade tier shit.
Also way too elaborate, you know? Like, like you just have a normal day, like you had to have the day like, talking about Frank Miller and fascism.
Yeah, Pomo fascism.
Homo fascism stuff.
I'm actually kind of like last time. Like I'm actually kind of glad that we kind of talked about this in the latter episode. Was like I really struggled to kind of articulate what kind of a reactionary that Frank Miller was, because like when I read the comic, all of the classic tropes that you see of like far right politics are in there, but then there's just like 1 or 2 things that are out that don't quite fit the mold. So like an example is like the racial politics are kind of absent from Miller's stuff. And even some of the gender stuff in there, right? Like the traditional gender stuff. Cause like Miller, like I said last time, like Miller, his approach to like, he seems fairly friendly to the LGBTQ community. He's not at all a racist. He doesn't even seem to be like that kind of typical Republican racist where it's like, you know, like he's racist, he just doesn't recognize it. It's like you know, so like he's very strange in that he doesn't quite fit this mold. So like I kind of felt like the postmodern kind of reading of the postmodern fascism, I think, seems to kind of really hit the mark there, because like his because like that's the thing that we were talking about on the Discord, which was like with fascists, you know, there's no the way things once were is always shifting. Like that's a forever changing goalpost. So as a result, what's considered traditional is constantly transforming. And that's the thing about Miller, is that like he's like sometimes he reminds me of like what Zizek says about like he wants to refer to them as like liberal fascists, but like not like in the stupid, you know, like, oh, fascists were like liberals, because like guess what, Hitler was a vegetarian, and like you know, like the Jonah Goldberg reading of fascism.
Like not like hipster fascism.
No, it's just more like, yeah, like I'm for LGBTQ rights, and also we need to like listen to the fascists when it comes to like Muslim immigrants or something. You know what I mean? Like that seems to be what's going on. That seems to be sort of like what kind of a far right figure Frank Miller is.
Like Sam Harris? No, just, I don't know. Never mind.
Honestly, yeah. Like
when you said about the Muslim thing, I was just like, okay, that's Sam Harris. He's like a fascist who thinks he's a liberal, basically. They fully endorse authority, fully endorse like, you know, biologically based like discrimination policy and law, you know, but like have no like assumptions about, like I have no, like act completely surprised when people go, well, but isn't that fascist? And he's like, oh, are you kidding me? No, I think this is rational, like.
It's like, no, I'm not fascist, but I just completely believe in the clash of civilizations thesis, and that, Islam is the most violent religion in the world because of their culture and, low tier, basically genetics, but, not calling it that.
And no joke, like that is what Miller is, because like I think I mentioned this in our first attempt at this episode, which is like at one point during like the Bush years and even like well into the Obama years, he was a virulent anti-Islamophobe. I mean, he was very much anti-Muslim. He made that comic Holy Terror Batman, which just felt like if you were. Like, the funny thing is I actually did reread the Holy Terror Batman not too long ago, and it just felt so dated to, like, those Bush years, especially the new atheist type of, like, classical liberal crypto-reactionary types. But the thing I will say is that even Miller is better on this shit on some level than Sam Harris. Like, Miller will do the whole Clash of Civilization. He will do the whole Clash of Civilizations bullshit. But to give him credit, he will not do the whole bell curve bullshit.